Uh, Today, as part of leadership series, I will be talking on how to learn faster. The world changes to faster, you need to learn. Why? Because if you do not keep up with the change, you are going to get left behind. In this video, we show you the really simple yet powerful method that you can use to quickly upgrade your learnings and make sure you can keep up with the best. In this module, we are going to learn about the importance of learning faster, which is a strange concept, I admit, because what exactly does that mean? Well, let's start with why it matters. It is a cliche to say that the world is changing faster, but it is unfortunately a true cliche, which means that if the world is moving faster, then you need to learn faster in order to keep up with it. If you do not, you are going to get left behind. So that's why you need to learn faster to keep up with the modern world or even get ahead of it. The longer it takes you to learn about something important, the more time you are wasting. So whether it is a problem or an opportunity, as a 21st century leader, you want to know about it is as quickly as possible so that you can respond to it. To see why speed is so important, let's think about two football teams. One learns very quickly, the other one learns very slowly. Now, when these two teams play together, who is most likely to win? All things being equal, it is the team that learns the fastest. Why is that? Because in the same amount of time, they have covered more advanced techniques, integrated new technologies into their training regime. Whether that's maybe about nutrition or technology, and so that gives them an edge, which makes it more likely for them to win. But it is not just a soccer. In soccer, it is in everything. For example, a team of medical professional medicine is being transformed at the moment. Don't you want your doctors and nurses to be at the cutting edge of technology and the breakthrough that it provides to provide you with the best healthcare? How about your sales team? Suddenly, they be learning and the new tricks to make more money. Or how about engineers? Do you want them to be using their old techniques or the modern, safer, faster techniques that make technology clear and more safer and quieter? All of this depends on the ability of the team and the leader of those team to learn it. We are going to make progress. If we are going to make things better, then we need to learn how to do it. And the faster we learn how to do it, the faster we can improve performance and get ahead. But the obvious point here is that learning takes time. There is no great shortcut for fast learning. Well, there is one actually, and you are going to learn about that right now. The truth is that there is so much knowledge already out here there. The basic point is to recognize that instead of learning everything from the beginning, you can learn yourself a massive advantage by emulating the people who have already proven their success. This, we believe, is the fastest way to learn to emulate a really successful people. Now, this might sound obvious, but think it through. The people who are successful are the successful because they have learned to do things in the right way at the right time. So rather than messing around, just focus in one on the key details that they get right, and that can be useful for you. Now, we do not mean just mindlessly copying what others people do. You should not just copy people because that's not necessarily going to work for you. It is about understanding what the other people do that makes them so successful and using that understanding to enhance the way that you are doing. For example, I recently completed an Ironman, which is a triathlon challenge because basically it's a very long swim. Uh, it's a 3.9 kilometer swim, 180-kilometer bike ride, and then a marathon run. And I thought I was quite good at swimming, but the reality is that swimming 3.9 kilometer in an ocean is quite tough. And as I was training, I realized that I actually was not very good at swimming. So I had to swallow my pride. And I went online and I watched as many videos as I could. I read as many blogs, articles, I was reading magazines, I was chatting to the athletes and basically trying to learn from the people who are really good at swimming and seeing how I could use that knowledge. And what I was focusing on was using the key aspects of what they were suggesting to improve my own technique. I didn't take everything that they did. I just used the keys insights that I felt was right for me. And today I can swim in 2 kilometers in the ocean without a problem. However, if I try to learn everything myself in the beginning, then it would have been very much longer and I probably wouldn't have been so successful in swimming. So, in summary, what is the key point here? The key point is that to be humble and use the advanced learning of others to rapidly progress your own learning. Don't be too proud to learn from others. They have made great breakthrough, and if they are ahead of game. Acknowledge that and then learn from them so that you can improve your own abilities. That's why we provide you with very simple five step guide to learn faster. Step one is to identify one thing that someone else does really well and that is relevant to you. Just focus on one thing for now. Then identify the three key things that you believe they do to make them to so good at it. And this is really about details. It is really about taking the time to really focus what exactly are they doing in order to be so successful. So for example, when I was focusing on the swimming technique, I really focused a lot on what exactly is the hand position, how the glide movement of the strokes working. These are, very niche details, but they worked really successfully for me because they gave me the insight that I needed. So what you are looking for at step two is real insights into what are those precise things that they are doing right that unlocks the performance. That takes us then to step three. Once I think you have identified what those three things are, you need to mindfully practice them. Now, mindfully is bold and underlined here because it is not just about tuning up and just trying to do it. Instead, what you are trying to do is integrate in a very conscious way those three steps into your own technique. So, whether it is doing presentation, whether it is about how you are in negotiating with the people, whether it is about the way to formulate a strategy, try and be mindful about how you are going to use those three improvements to improve the way that you are doing things. And then the step four, compare your results. Look at what you did, reflect on it, and see was it actually better. Often, when we try something new, it is not always necessarily better. So, don't be disheartened by that. Instead, focus on what you can improve and particularly look at the techniques. How can you improve them? What are the ways you need to change the way? What are the ways you need to change the way you do the changes things so that you can move forward? You then need to keep repeating this process, and that way you get to learn much faster than normal. The secret of enhancing your knowledge is step five, which is teach someone when what you learn. This is the reason why this is the secret is that most of the people see teaching as an onerous thing. It is a burden, but the real truth is that teaching requires you to know what you are talking about. The teachers rather learn much more than the student, because they have to be really clear about the matter that they are talking about so that they can instruct effectively. So it is take it upon yourself to mentor somebody and teach them what you have learned, and that way, I assure you, you will find a much deeper insight into the areas you are trying to master. Now, what do you actually need to do? Step one is identify someone who you can think does something excellent. Step two, to work out how are they making it so successful. Don't be fooled. It's never a magic. There is always method into everything. So try and check the code if necessary. Go and speak to that person, and you will, politely ask them what do they do that makes them so successful. More often than not, people are very happy to share their own thoughts and advice. And then the step three, working on it, deepens and deepen and build your understanding, and recognize that it takes some time, but it is much faster to learn from others than to try and learn from scratch yourself to use. To continue the analogy, it is much better to learn swimming and from someone who is great at swimming than to try and throw yourself into the ocean having no idea and trying to learn from here there. If you try to do that, you will probably end up drowning. In summary, what have we learned during this module? In today's rapidly changing world, you need to learn quickly to stay ahead of the change. Focus on maximizing how quickly you can learn from the other people. Use the steps that we provided you to focus you, and identifying the specific details and the methods that people employ in order to drive your learnings forward as quickly as possible. And then finally, remember that as a leader, it is not just about you. How are you encouraging your whole team to do this? It is a great if you can do this, but even better if you can encourage all of your teammates to be learning faster as well, because that way you upgrade your whole team's capability, and that way you can stay ahead of the game today.